Here is a experience report on 7hydroxymitragynine, often goes by the name 7OH, and this is a alkaloid found in the kratom plant in very small concentrations, like less than 1%. It's also formed in the body by your metabolic process after taking kratom, mitragynine being the main alkaloid in kratom for its opioid action, is then processed through your body into 7hydroxymitragynine, which is a much stronger mu-opioid receptor agonist and much more targeted and direct in its effects. Within the last year or two, these 7hydroxymitragyninated or 7hydroxymitragynine tablets, pills, and shots have appeared in smoke shops as well as online vendors, and this is the isolated 7hydroxymitragynine, which is something like 7 to 10 times more potent than morphine by weight, and also I think 30 times more potent than plain old mitragynine. So like I said, nowadays this is being sold alone, the 7hydroxymitragynine. This is different from a kratom extract like OPMS Gold or something like that, in that with a traditional kratom extract like OPMS Black or Gold, you're still getting the full broad spectrum of all the alkaloids found in kratom. There's quite a few, versus these tablets are just 7hydroxymitragynine, nothing else, usually at very high doses, starting anywhere from 15 up to some tablets alone. I've seen tablets at dosed at 120 milligrams. I've seen packages of tablets dosed up to 500, 600 milligrams total. So to just give you the experience report, it feels like kratom, but much stronger, much cleaner, in that I don't get the nausea, the other side effects that normally associate with higher doses of kratom. Less nausea, blurred vision, feeling kind of gross and off, and much more potent and more euphoric. This compound is definitely, it's like basically it's an optimized kratom product. And yeah, I mean, if you've taken kratom before, this 7hydroxymitragynine will feel like, say, the first time you took kratom at a larger dose and really felt those mu-opioid agonist effects. There's also another point that I need to mention, is that for some reason, a lot of these pills are being combined with an entirely different ingredient called pseudoindoxyl mitragynine, or mitragynine pseudoindoxyl, or sometimes just pseudo. In fact, one of the most popular brands pressed, their Super Hulk product, is actually a 50-50 mix, 150 milligrams of 7hydroxymitragynine and 150 milligrams of the pseudoindoxyl. I might make a separate video about a pseudoindoxyl, but in short, it's a completely different drug that's not naturally found in the kratom plant. It's synthesized in laboratories and is not good in my, just overall, it blocks or blunts much of the euphoria or, good feelings you would get from the 7-hydroxymitragynine. It's more potent, but it's more potent just off of binding affinity, but doesn't have any of the euphoric, sedating kind of classic opiate energy. So if you're buying this stuff at smoke shops, definitely be aware of, steer clear of any products that mix it, because if you're buying with these ingredients with pseudo, first of all, the pseudo is just going to block all the 7-hydroxymitragynine effects because it has stronger binding affinity. So you're wasting your money, and you're not going to get as good effects with the pseudo, except for maybe better pain relief, a slightly longer duration. But 7-hydroxymitragynine, 7-OH, is by far a much, much better chemical. Now, when I do these experience reports, they're for informational and harm reduction purposes. So I just be completely blunt and honest about my experiences, and 7-hydroxymitragynine has been very, very addictive in my experience. It's very, very expensive, especially if you're buying it from these smoke shops. You can easily get to a point where you're spending $100+ a day on this stuff. Your tolerance will increase rapidly. And there is a withdrawal if you take it enough. Say if you take this stuff for a week or even 5 days straight and then stop, you're going to go through a withdrawal that is on the same magnitude, if not stronger than the withdrawal you get from plain old kratom. Now, the only good part of that is that this 7-hydroxymitragynine has a much shorter action, whereas kratom and mitragynine last for like 6 to 8 hours. The 7-hydroxymitragynine works for only about 4 hours or so. So makes it more addictive, compulsive redosing, but also the withdrawal does not last as long. By 3 days, I'd say the withdrawal from 7-hydroxy lasts around 3 days, and then before you're out of the woods. But like I said, this is basically a kratom on steroids. It feels very good. It feels very good if that's what you're after, but I would not mess with this stuff. You shouldn't be messing with this stuff, period. It's just going to become a net negative on your life. It's going to drain your wallet, that's for sure. And the only type of person who I think might benefit from something like this is somebody who's already a avid kratom user, a lifelong kratom user. If you're using kratom to treat chronic pain or some other condition, and you don't want to go through the standard pharmaceuticals, or pharmaceuticals aren't an option, then that's the only type of person who should be looking into these products. And if you are gonna look for these products regardless, avoid the smoke shop stuff at all costs. It's way, way, way overpriced. You're going to be paying at least 50%, or not, if not more, than what you would pay from an online vendor. And a lot of these companies that press and then put out these tablets are very shady in their tactics, and it's unknown what other ingredients they might be putting in. On the other hand, there's plenty of online vendors that provide COAs, certificates of authentication, that exactly what they're selling is exactly what they're selling, 7-OH, at exactly the strength that they claim it to be, and you're paying half the price, if not less. So definitely go for an online vendor. You can put in the comments if you need help with that, and I can help you with that. But if you're in your 20s and if you don't have a particular reason to be taking this stuff, then you shouldn't be taking this stuff. It's just going to be a net negative and a drag on your life. But enough of me preaching. That's the harm reduction portion. 7-OH. It is the kratom on steroids. Still a partial mu agonist like mitragynine, surprisingly, but feels just like a full mu opioid receptor agonist. Feels very, very similar to a low to moderate dose of oxycodone or hydrocodone. Very, very similar feeling. But yeah, I think I might do a shorter separate video on pseudomitragynine, since I'm seeing so much of that crap out there. But this is the experience report on the 7-OH, 7hydroxymitragynine. One other thing, this product, given how much more potent and addictive it is than plain old kratom, I predict this might be the downfall of kratom in the United States, at least. This might be the catalyst that leads to the FDA or the DEA cracking down and getting rid of kratom in the States once and for all, just because of the way this stuff is being advertised in smoke shops and vape shops. How much it literally is 10 times as potent as morphine by weight. So, gas station heroin, blah, blah, blah. And it is naturally found in the kratom plant, but not anywhere near the dosages you're getting from these extracts. I mean, a big dose of kratom, say 10 grams, you're getting maybe a milligram of 7-hydroxy, if that. So these isolated, highly purified 7-OH products are a completely different beast. It's not like regular taking plain old kratom. This is a big jump up into potential addiction, more expensive, potential harm. So yeah, this might be what takes down kratom altogether, which would be pretty unfortunate, similar to what happened to tianeptine when that was the most stuff being sold at smoke shops. That's now, I believe, illegal it's now completely illegal on the federal level, if not made a Schedule 1 in multiple states. 7-OH, definitely multiple states looking to schedule this substance. There was a I think RFK Jr., who's currently in the administration, said he wanted to ban this stuff as well. So this might be the nail in the coffin for kratom. And that's unfortunate, because I think kratom is a net positive thing overall, if used responsibly.